I'm Joe, and here we go for our JoeGo review. The bow tie today is the Toy Story Alien Crane game because my son and I were grabbing toys when we went to the Washington State Toy Show. We had so much fun there. There are so many toys. Toys I had as a kid, toys I wanted when I was a kid that I still want as an adult. It was so much fun, so many toys to have, but we were on a mission at this toy show. We were on a mission to get some Watto action figures. That's right. Back here, I have two Watto figures up on my wall behind me. Why are they still in the box? They're only worth $5. I just really like Watto. He is such a fascinating footnote in Star Wars. He is made to sell toys. I mean, his alien race is called Toydarian, and he is like a meta commentary on Star Wars merchandising, but I feel they don't make as many toys of Watto as they should, possibly because he has child slaves. So there's a good reason why he may not be made into as many toys as I would like to see. The LEGO group has only made Watto 3 different times over 25 years of LEGO Star Wars. And the last time they made a LEGO Watto was way back in 2015, almost 10 years ago. And so maybe they don't want to dip their toes in someone that promotes child slavery. I mean, they did pull that LEGO Indiana Jones Temple of Doom set at the very last minute. Maybe for the same reason, LEGO Group doesn't want to be involved with depictions of child slavery. Okay, but for that reason, I find Watto very unique, and a big shout out to the George Lucas Talk Show, who have only amplified my love of Watto. So when me and my son were collecting a lot of Star Wars action figures last year when he was getting into Star Wars, I went ahead and saved the 2 Watto figures for some Watto wall decor. And this year my son really wanted to open those boxes. I wouldn't let him. So I said, son, coming up, there's a toy show. Maybe we can find some duplicate Watto figures there, and then you can have some Watto figures of your own to open up. So that was our mission. And the toy show has over 45,000 square feet of vintage and modern toys. It's in 2 different buildings. We entered into building number 1, and right away we saw some Star Wars action figures. We were hoping for a Watto. We did not find a Watto, but we found another Episode 1 figure that my son really enjoys, the C-3PO from Episode 1 of Phantom Menace, or as my son lovingly calls it,
ooh, there's a naked C-3PO.
Naked C-3PO.
Naked C-3PO. So we went ahead and picked up Naked C-3PO, and then we're off to view all the other booths, and there was one booth that had a lot of Batman figures, and this year was the year that my son got into Batman. You can watch an old Batman video of mine, and I talk about that and his love of Harley Quinn. Of course, we already have the Harley Quinn action figure, so now we're looking for other figures. Lo and behold, there's a whole bin of awesome Batman the Animated Series villains, Bane and Mr. Freeze and Two-Face, and luckily, I already had Two-Face. It was one of the figures. I don't have many figures that survived my childhood and purges and garage sales and moves, but my Two-Face did survive all that, and so I have Two-Face, and I'm so glad I have Two-Face for my son, because in that bin, Two-Face was the most expensive villain. Two-Face was $50, so it's a good thing I already had Two-Face. But then I wanted to buy that Mr. Freeze, and unfortunately that booth did not take cards. So then we walked around a little bit more on our way to find an ATM, and on the way to the ATM, I found another booth that had a Mr. Freeze up on its wall, and they take cards, and it was a little cheaper too. It was only $20. So sold. We got ourselves a Mr. Freeze, and that Mr. Freeze figure looks amazing. I really enjoy collecting all these Batman animated series figures that I didn't have as a kid or that I've lost as a kid, and that's what we're all doing at these toy shows. We're buying back our childhood, buying back the toys that we lost or gave away as a kid, and then also buying toys that we never had as a kid that we always wanted. So we move on to the next building to see if we can find our figures that we want. And one of the first booths we go to in the second building, they had a lot of Star Wars figures, and drum roll, look at this. They had the Watto from Episode 1. So good, 1 out of 2 Watto figures. And then we went to booth after booth looking for our second Watto. We found so many other cool things. One of the things I really like to pick up at these toy shows are old Happy Meal toys, old McDonald's toys. Oh, we had the best childhood. I mean, establishments that are only supposed to give you food, in my childhood, started giving you toys and started building playgrounds. Oh, it was an amazing childhood. My collection of Happy Meal toys is one of the few collections that have survived all these years, probably because they don't take up too much space. So I have a lot of old Happy Meal toys from my childhood, and it's awesome to see my son play with those. So we like to pick up more of the Happy Meal toys and complete some of the incomplete collections that I have from my Happy Meal toy collection. So we found a Poison Ivy from Batman the Animated Series Happy Meal toys, so we were very excited to pick up Poison Ivy and add her. And then I couldn't help myself. I kept on finding more and more great Happy Meal toys. There was a Mac Tonight. I had to get Mac Tonight. Mac Tonight is such an interesting figure. Here is a character made for an ad campaign aimed at adults to get them to eat McDonald's for dinner, and yet here he is turned into a toy for your kid's Happy Meal. What an interesting character. I love Mac Tonight. Let me know in the comments if you remember Mac Tonight and have a very big fondness for all things Happy Meal toys. I thought I was done with the Happy Meal toys, and then one last glance and I found an old Walt Disney World Happy Meal toy that was Goofy in Norway. So there you go. It's one of my favorite parks, Epcot Center. My favorite pavilion at Epcot is Norway, and my favorite Goofy. So there we go, trifecta. I had to pick this up. I just had to. And so we keep on moving around the second building. We went to booth after booth looking for our second Watto. We found so many other cool things, so many amazing booths, and a really fun booth that my son enjoys every time we go to a toy show are the 3D printing booths. There's a lot of them cropping up right now as people have 3D printers and are now making their own toys at home and bringing them to the toy show. And this booth in particular, Williams Industries, had a lot of fun, inventive little toys. A ripped Kermit. Make these all through their 3D printer. That huge battle droid they made with a 3D printer. It's a lot of fun. My son really enjoyed the Rocktopus, a combination of octopus and the rock for your great fidget toy. Lots of fun at those 3D printing booths. But we kept on moving on, and we were just about done with all the different booths. And then on our way out of that second building, we saw a booth that had bins and bins of Star Wars action figures. So here we go. It's a Hail Mary last booth that we're visiting. We dug through those bins, and there it was, the Episode 2 Attack of the Clones Watto figure. We did it! We got both Watto figures. Finally, now my son can open up his own Watto figures and play with them. And here's a quick mini review of those two Watto action figures. If you're looking to give Watto as a gift for a prequel fan, or just a fun joke gift, it would be a sincere gift to me. But if you wanted to give Watto as a gift, I would recommend going with the Episode 2 Attack of the Clones Watto. It comes with a display stand for Watto. And the Episode 1 action figure looks better in the box, actually. Once you take him out of the box, his wings kind of point straight back and don't flank him like they do in the box. So there's my recommendation. Make sure if you're getting your own Watto action figure, make it Episode 2, because he also comes with a little hat. And so that's it. We were so excited to have our toy mission accomplished there at the Washington State Toy Show. Is the Washington State Toy Show a JoeGo or a no-go? It's a JoeGo. Go and get yourself to one of these Washington State toy shows. They do it about 3 times, sometimes 4 times a year. I'm so excited for the next one to see what we'll get then. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of this toy show, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks to those that have already subscribed. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.